I don't play that anymore. You just get destroyed, man. Is your game? It's just the game's too fast for me, man. That's the problem. Is the game is too fast and I can't keep up with it, so I don't want to play it. So, May 19th, Fulton. Oh, thank God, that's good. So rough to watch. Things zooming around. Couldn't tell what's going on. Yeah, it's just too fast. Is it in the L system because you're playing against people better than you? Yeah, but like what I'm saying is like, I mean, if you can move like that in the game, it's just too fast. Like, I mean, for me, right? I mean, obviously other people, you know, it's not like that. I mean, I do think that like, my opinion with it in general is the game is just it's too fast paced and it's too, there's like too much things happening on the screen. It's too disorienting. Like it's just it's like it gives you gives you anxiety playing the game. It's not like it's a bad game, like but I don't really think it's a game that I would want to play. Did they kill this guy? No. What I get? Oh, nice. You gonna check out New World Arenas? Probably not. I mean, I've got so much other stuff I'm doing right now. I don't need something else on my plate. Like as I said, I'm not really a big PvPer, so I'm probably not gonna do a lot of New World stuff. Like, I mean, saying that, I mean, I probably should do some Arena today, but just in general, I'm just not really an Arena player or a PvP player. Guy drops the key used to craft a snail mount. Nice. Yeah, I need to do that. Get your 4 set yet? Yeah, I did. It's an LFR piece though. Something cool they could do for Dragonflight raids when they come out. I'd like to be able to use the dragons while you're fighting in combat against the bosses. I think that could be cool. What is a rolling mechanic? Oh, this game? Yeah, I think WoW has the same problem. But it's just like also... Oh, let's go over there and kill him. Like with WoW, I think the game is very overwhelming for players, and that's why they stop playing. Because like, for example, Arena has the same problem. Is like Arena is so... There's like so much going on in Arena that it's like impossible to even keep up with what's happening. Like for a normal person. But like for me, it's like not really that hard because I've played Arena for like years, and so like I get it. But like even for me, it's hard to get back into the swing of things, and so like imagine what it's like for, you know, like just an average player. It's like you have so many debuffs that are occurring, and the game doesn't really do a very good job at like separating important debuffs from not important debuffs. So like for example, something like Battle Shout, it just doesn't have the same impact and importance as like Recklessness or Rallying Cry. So you have like, you know, damage taken by 1 or 2%, right? You have like all these extra debuffs condemned that don't really make like a tremendous impact on like the game, but they just a second, but they're there. It's more overwhelming. WoW or Overwatch? I think for like a new player, I think WoW is way more overwhelming than Overwatch is, because like Overwatch, I mean, like the game is I mean, it's an FPS game, right? So it's like there's only like a certain amount of complexity that it can have. But like, yeah, WoW is like way more overwhelming.
The engine that creates these automa is not working. Clear the defective ones so that others may be renewed.
Okay. Sheer amount of spells not knowing what other classes do? Yeah, exactly. Playing on Dragons, same as underwater combat, would be similar to what people hated about Vashj'ir Underwater Zone. I don't think that, I don't think Vashj'ir was bad at all. I don't think Vashj'ir was a bad zone in any regard. I think the only reason why people thought Vashj'ir was bad is because Hyjal had faster leveling. And so people rated Vashj'ir as like the quality of its leveling speed rather than like the quality of the zone itself. Molten Front was also S tier. Yeah, Molten Front was good. Same proves the hardest part of Arena. Everyone leaves after 2 games. Sad. Well, yeah. Well, people quit really fast in Arena because like the game, like there's just such a massive skill difference between like let's say like Zico or somebody like that and like just an average player. Because like Arena has like so many different ways that you can be really good at it. And so the people that are the best at it are really good in all of the ways. And because of that, it makes it to where like you can't really compete against that unless you're playing it constantly. And I think that's the case for like every game, but it's like so much more the case for WoW. And so like people see like kind of the amount of like the amount of stuff you have to do or like know about the game, and it's just like people nope out of it right there. The students scrap Vashj'ir raid because of the underwaters of combat complained about. I don't remember, but I think that it would. I think the reason why people didn't like Vashj'ir is that like the leveling was slow. I don't think it had anything to do with the zone fundamentally. You still asking doing deep dungeon solo? I don't know. Yeah, Blackwater Behemoth is a good example of like a, it's like an underwater boss that is, the fuck? That was actually pretty good. You still play Lost Ark? Yeah, I played it earlier today. No, it's just not, okay, whatever. Not much content in Lost Ark past 14, 15. Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think that's like a problem really with the game, because like only like 1% of players, probably less than 1% of players are even 14, 15 right now. I mean, that's like a pretty high item level, because like it either requires you to spend a lot of money or it requires you to spend like an incredible amount of time playing the game. Like by the time Vaulton comes out, like it would be great if they brought out like Vaulton next week. That would be amazing. Because I just see a lot of people that are already hitting it and they're ready to go. You know what I mean?
One day, this beautiful engine of creation will function again.
Okay, let's go get this one done. Actually, I've got to go get this. Is it too late to start in Lost Ark? No, it's not. It's a good time to start. Lost Ark review coming out. I feel like I'm not going to do the review because, like, basically, people have already decided that they don't like my opinion on the game because of the fact that I spent money on the game. And so, like, I don't really see the point in making a review. Didn't get it. Fuck. Never gonna satisfy it anyway, just get it out. There's no real reason to. It'll just create a bunch of drama and I don't really want to waste my time on it, if you want me to be totally honest. It's like I could invest my time into doing anything. Why would I want to do that? I'm just gonna say, since you invested your money, you're biased, or vice versa. Yeah. It's the same as like, someone Lost Ark, your opinion valid. Yeah, I know. YouTube viewers have insane hate for Lost Ark. I think that a lot of people don't like the game and they're just like really outspoken about it because they what is this? The reason why is because like they don't like pay to win games and they're unhappy that Lost Ark is successful. And so they shit on Lost Ark and anybody that plays it because they think that if they do that, it'll cause the people that it'll cause the people that play the game to like stop playing the game, and then like people won't make games like that anymore. It's like I've seen a lot of posts of people that say that, you know, like Lost Ark's a good game, but because it's pay to win, like I downvote and I'm like super hostile towards all content about it, and I like attack anybody who like plays the game. Like I've seen people say this multiple times. And so that's why, like, for example, like whenever I had this on my Reddit, there was like a pretty long period of time where like my entire front page of the Reddit was just like a bunch of hate threads about Lost Ark. And it's like, it makes sense because like I'd always been like pretty outspoken about that stuff, and so a lot of those kinds of people watched me. And like I eventually just like kind of like I don't want to, I've said this before, right? I mean, I don't want to, I don't want to try to, let me think of a way to put it. Do I have to kill these things? Okay. I don't want to be like a crusader or like a, you know, try to tell people like what to do, what they can and can't do, like etc. Right? I just want to play video games and enjoy myself, and that's it. And like obviously I have the same opinions that I had then, but it's just that I don't want to make this like a core part of my community or a core part of like my content, because it's just something that's I think it's also like it's an endless level of like purity tests where whenever you start doing this, like you have a lot of other people who are like, yeah, but you do this, or but you do that, but like this isn't okay, or I don't think that's okay. And so like you're like stuck in this like endless loop of like trying to defend yourself for like everything that you do, because like the truth is that, I mean, almost anything you can say is pay to win, right? Like you can make a very strong argument that like mini games are pay to win, and then you have people that make, in my opinion, what you'd say like intellectually dishonest arguments, like saying like, oh, Final Fantasy is pay to win because it has story content, you know, that's locked behind, or not story content, it's locked behind, but like you can pay money to like skip the story. And so you have a lot of you have a lot of that stuff happen. And then also, so like you're constantly like stuck, like trapped in these like arguments, trying to just like justify what video games you're playing, and it's like, what am I doing with my life? You know what I mean? Like, why am I doing this? Sounds exhausting, yeah. And then like people will try to find like they'll like intentionally misunderstand something you say and be like, oh, but I thought you said this. And it's like, yeah, I mean, like the thing is, like, here's how I see it, is like every game almost has like a degree of pay to win inside of it, right? Like a game like Lost Ark, I think it's just like very overt. You have like, I think RuneScape, you can buy gold in RuneScape, and you know, I'm sure that like if you buy enough gold, you can probably buy things that make your character better. Same thing with let's see, what else? With WoW, I mean, like it's obvious you can do that with WoW. And so also like Final Fantasy, like, yeah, you can pay money and not have to do the story on like alt characters, which, I mean, yeah, it's like if you don't have to do that and you can spend money to skip it, like that's an advantage that you have if you have access to money and like resources. So like you can see how this is like an ever evolving like thing that people will like intentionally misunderstand or understand based off of like what their preference of game is and like what they prefer and what they enjoy. Can't play 10 hours a day if they can afford to take a day or so off more for work. Yeah. Purpose to convince her is express your viewpoint. Do you support gaming as much as expressing why you do? I don't know. I just want to like I don't want to get like psychoanalyzed. I just want to just go on my stream and just talk about stuff, right? I plan streaming Elden Ring soon. Oh, I finished Elden Ring. Also, it's very pay to win, so I never play it or watch any form of content or talk about it. Well, that's what I'm saying, right? And so like you have these people that are just like they're like so ideologically opposed to like a game like Lost Ark. And like my opinion is that I think almost all games are going to be like that in the future, to the extent that the government doesn't have some sort of regulation on it. So you have a situation where there are these people that think that they're doing a good, like every time that you have a situation where people can do a bad thing and think they're doing a good thing, that's always like, you're gonna have a lot of bad things. Why would they? Well, because the game makes more money that way. Like you can make more money that way, it's that simple. We're gonna finish Dark Souls 2. I beat the game before, and I don't really want to play it again because it's a bad game. The free-to-play route is so heavily gated by bad RNG. It's a great game otherwise. Yeah. I think the game's quality will... improve. I think it's cognitive dissonance, those people hating Lost Ark but accepting WoW tokens. Well, see, like, that's what I'm saying, right? And so, like, now if I start talking about it now, like, now I'm one of the same people, right? And so it's like, well, what's the... You know, like, who's the real authentic person playing video games, you know? You see kind of like where I'm getting at here? Where like you're constantly stuck trying to, like you're trying to stuck constantly like trying to like justify what you do, and what you can and can't do in a game and all that stuff. It kind of did remind me a little bit of like classic WoW in that regard, where like in classic WoW people were very fixated around trying to figure out who were the real players, you know, like it was a big controversy because nobody knew what server Tips Out played on in classic WoW. So it was like this like weird thing where people are like constantly questioning your authenticity, and they don't want to believe you, and it's like it's just weird. And so I don't want to be a part of that type of community again. Nice. Disagree with what they find accessible. WoW token push the line for me. Don't consider it's pay to win, so stuff in Lost Ark. I feel like WoW is pretty much as pay to win as Lost Ark is. If I get another interview with Ian, like that's what I want to talk to him about a lot. Like I don't know if he'd really want to do that because it's like such a touchy topic. But like if I had to add one question into the interview, it's like, you know, do you think the WoW token is made WoW pay to win? Like that's the question I would want to ask him. Vetoed? I don't think they would veto it. No, it doesn't get a political answer. Well, it's like, the thing is, like, I think it's like, it's better to just admit, like, you know, Gold River even said, he's like, yeah, you know, if you pay money in the game, you're gonna get stuff earlier, and people are like, yep, alright, well, you know, there it is, right? And so, it's better to just come out and say, like, yeah, what token? It's better to come out and just say what's going on, than try to, like, pretend like it's not going on. Lockdown was the right choice. Gold sellers can't be stopped. Any game with an open in-game market to pay to win. I think that gold sellers can be stopped to a certain degree. I think that Blizzard could put more effort into stopping them than what they've done. Obviously, like, can they completely stop gold sellers? Like, no, probably not. But I think they can certainly do a better job than what they've done so far. What about streamer gold? Well, streamer gold isn't the same as pay to win because you can't just put money into it and get something out of it. Like, if you want to say, like, streamer, like, you really think, like, being a streamer and, like, having somebody trade you gold is the same thing as being able to buy it for real money? I mean, I don't know, man. Yeah, I think that people that interpret it that way are just kind of, they're like willfully misunderstanding the problem, and they're trying to turn it into, like, somehow it's like I'm a, I'm like hypocritical for saying that. And so I don't really want to indulge that because I just think it's a stupid way to think about things. Like, this is, and again, like, that's kind of try for gotcha moment. Yeah, exactly. It's such a small percentage population, it's relevant. Yeah, exactly. It's like, you're always gonna have ways for people to, like, get over. You know, you'll have people that, like, you know, their brother is, like, really good at the game, and so, like, their brother helps them do stuff, and, you know, like, that's always, like, what's gonna happen in video games. That's what's happened ever since video games, like, started happening, right? I mean, like, there's no way that's gonna go away. I think, like, just because, like, you can identify one form of like somebody getting something that they might not necessarily deserve, doesn't mean that like every other case of people getting things that they don't deserve should be acceptable. It's just a weird way to look at things. It's like, well, this thing's unfair, so like it's okay to make everything else unfair. And also, like, another reason why it's different is because there's not a profit incentive behind, like, for example, like if a streamer plays a video game, there's not really an incentive. The company doesn't really, I mean, I guess they make money through advertising. Let me think of a way to put this. Companies don't design games so people can give gold to streamers. You know, like, this doesn't really happen. So I think that another thing is like, whenever you talk about like streaming or something like that, you have to keep in mind that a lot of people is like, and like the pay to win features, like what the real problem is really is that the game becomes designed with them in mind. Does monster streams arrow money or in-game items? Well, yeah, but like, I mean, that's like, I mean, welcome to advertising. Like, that's what they do everywhere. You know, they pay people with an audience to talk about how good a product is. Like, I mean, that's the way that marketing works. But it's not like the game is being redesigned with that in mind. Like, the most that you could ever say that's similar to that is like, let's say there's a streamer mode where it randomizes your name or something like that. So it's just it's a fundamental difference. And I think like the reason why they developed the games that way is because it works. Like they wouldn't keep making games this way if it wasn't making money. Wow, that does a lot of damage. That's crazy. I didn't even think that would happen. Yeah, it just works, and like that's why people do it, and that's why it happens. Games designed with pay to win mind, especially different experience between players, and also like there's a certain amount of like the feel of the game that matters a lot. And like this is kind of like what happened with Lost Ark, is that like how players feel is more important than what is true. And I think this is something that a lot of people, especially like I don't know, like maybe younger people or people that like don't really have as much experience. It's like, I don't know, in the world, I guess you could say. It's something a lot of them don't really understand. Is that a lot of the, like the way that people feel about something is more important than like the facts about it. And so, for example, like releasing Vaulton early wouldn't really have like that big of an impact on like if they had released Vaulton last month, it would have had really no impact on Lost Ark. In terms of like actual like a functional impact on the economy or on the game. Because you can't buy the accessories or use them or do anything unless you're at that item level anyway. So like it's just an extra level of the game. It's like basically we're gonna release level 8 and like most people are at level 3, and so like people that are at level 8, you know, are only dealing with things that are level like 6 and 7. So like they don't even interact with each other. Perception issue, people are too used to traditional MMOs like WoW. Yeah, I think so. And so like that's kind of like what happens, and that's why I thought it was a good idea for them to delay it, is because people's perception of the game is that it's pay to win. And so like Lost Ark can't do anything to avoid that problem. Like they can't get away from this. They can't rationalize this, and they shouldn't, because it's true. It is fundamentally true. Lost Ark is a pay-to-win game. And so, now, like, the thing is that, like, it might be pay-to-win, but, like, people that don't pay-to-win can still enjoy the game, right? And I think that should be that's the argument. That should be what I think they should say, and that's what I would say. You're saying for them to embrace the dark side? Well, I think it's important to be authentic and to tell people what... Like, you're not fooling anybody if you say it's not pay to win, and it is. Like, there's nobody that's like, oh man, I'm so glad you told me it wasn't pay to win. Oh, I guess it's not now. No, they're still gonna think that on BG. I probably need to do arena, honestly, man. I need to just do arena and get games in. And so, like, you can't really expect to have that happen. Fair chance Ian would deny that WoW's pay to win. I think that he would probably, like, if I, like, thinking about, like, what would Ian say? What would I say if I was Ian? I would say, if I was trying to defend the game, I would say that, well, it depends on what your definition of pay to win is. Because, like, some people view pay to win as having the best gear. And, you know, other people view pay to win as doing the most damage. And it's like, it's very hard to say, like, what's pay, yeah, define win, basically, right? I mean, Ian's a lawyer, and so it's, the thing is also, so, like, if I was going to ask this question, like, I mean, Ian was an attorney, so, like, I would structure it in a way that, like, you're basically asking, like, do you think players can get advantages from spending money in the game, you know, with the WoW token? You know, and I'd give examples of, like, the, you know, new stuff, right? Because, like, I mean, you can easily argue that, like, it's an advantage. So, like, winning, like, pay to win is, like, I think it's a bad term to use, because winning doesn't mean the same thing for everyone. So, like, you can say, like, oh yeah, this is a pay-to-win game, but, like, it's not really, because, like, for somebody, that's not what they consider winning. Like, to me personally, I would prefer if it just wasn't the case at all. Pay for power is a good definition. Yeah, but then, like, it's easy to say that, like, well, other games have, like, level boosts and stuff like that, so, like, what's the difference? Again, like, there's always a way to obfuscate what's in plain sight if you're trying to do that. And also, like, there is an element of truth to it as well. I mean, the best arguments that you can make are arguments that are, like, halfway rooted in some degree of truth. Like, it's never, like, a good idea to just say, like, things that are just completely bullshit. It's usually a better idea to say something that's, like, half true. And that way people are, like, left scratching their head and be like, well, yeah, that's kind of true, but, you know, it's like half-truths are more deceptive than flat lies. Like, for example, I think it would be very hard to make an argument that WoW isn't pay to win. And I think that one unique way that WoW is pay to win more than Lost Ark is the fact that you can spend money on things and have those things affect your character in PvP and, like, in rated PvP. Like, for example, like this, and this, like, I just got these because people gave them to me. This is not really an outcome of, like, my ability as a player. It is a direct outcome of spending money through, like, a system that's created in the game. You can get it with Conquest, come on. Yeah. Pay to win is required in World of Warcraft. People work 9 to 5. One of the same old Billy that plays 18 hours a day in his mom's basement. And that's always going to be the argument, and I think that's becoming more and more the argument. And I think the reason why pay to win is becoming more accepted is because you have people, like, there's two reasons. The first reason why pay to win is becoming more accepted is because you have a lot of people who have grown up with it at this point, and so this is what they've grown up with, and this is just how games are, right? Because these are people that have grown up with like mobile games that have like this type of paradigm, and they're just used to it. And so like there's a game that has like a pay to win feature or something like that, and they're like, okay, that's fine. That's number one, and number two, I think, is also that a lot of people who were, you know, previous, you know, like let's say you were a raider in Burning Crusade. Well, if you were raiding in Burning Crusade, you're probably pushing 30 by now at the least, you know? And so the odds of you having income to where you can just, you know, now you can be the one that does pay to win. And so like now you're able to spend money and play the game on a higher level. And so like one thing that I've always said is like I think that people advocate fundamentally in their best interest. Like all things considered, you know, when the chips are down, people are they're gonna vote, they're gonna advocate, they're gonna push for what is going to help them. And so what ends up happening is like you have people that, you know, now they have less time and they have more money. And what does pay to win favor? People that have less time and more money. So I mean, it's common sense. Because like also gaming has gotten older. Like the audience of gaming has gotten older. Back in the day, you had people that were... I probably should make a video about this, actually. Maybe I should do that tonight. That's a good idea. Back in the day, you had people that were, let's say, you know, like the average video gamer was like the age of like 15 or like 21, and like now that age is going up a lot. And that's not just from like, you know, soccer moms that play Candy Crush, it's just from gamers in general, right? You see more and more games like in general like catering to a larger audience of people. And so the negative notion of pay to win is something that's, I think, most strongly felt in like a young audience, because that's what they don't have access to. It's the same reason why I thought that a big reason why a lot of college students wanted to vote for Bernie Sanders is because he was going to forgive college debt. Well, yeah, of course you're going to vote for him because he's going to help you. It just makes sense. And so I think that's the case with a lot of things. Is people will advocate in direct interest of like, you know, what will benefit them. It had to be a sense it's immoral, but at the end of the day, you're responsible for your money. Well, I mean, to me, it's like the ethics or the morals of it are just kind of irrelevant. But it's the same thing at college debt. Well, I mean, but like that is you have to agree though that like that's a huge inducement. Like if you're a college student and you hear that like somebody's going to get rid of the debt, like, you know, you're making $20,000 a year, $30,000 a year, and there's somebody that's going to get rid of you know, $100,000 in debt, like you're going to vote for that person. So yeah, I think that's kind of what happens is pay to win is the same thing, where like you have people that advocate directly in benefit of themselves. And like you can look at it, like I don't want to, like I know people, like now that I'm talking about politics, somebody has to give their opinion on Biden or like bring up Donald Trump. Like nobody cares. Just don't waste your time. But I know you will. Anyway, so basically people like it's the same as like older people are more prone to be like Republican or like conservative. And especially like, I mean, let's take out the labels. I think that older people are in general, they don't want higher taxes, and younger people in general do want higher taxes. Like if this was gonna, and like, I don't really have like a, this is an objection hearsay. Like I think it is to an extent, but I think that it's kind of sensible. What? Higher taxes? Yeah, I think in general younger people want higher taxes, and older people don't want higher taxes. Because younger people are more beneficiaries from the things that those taxes are going towards, and older people have more assets, and so they would be the ones paying the taxes. I think that just makes sense. That's right, younger people idealize socialized things. Well, it's more about like the fact that like they're not going to have to pay for them, right? In many regards. Like many young people are, I mean, they're not millionaires or billionaires, and so they don't really care. Whereas you have a lot of older people that do have more money, not billionaires, right? Maybe they have like almost $1 million of assets or something like that. And so they don't want to have to pay that money. And so, big surprise, older people that are, you know, more wealthy are against higher tax rates. Like, wow, what a surprise. Who could have ever imagined that? So that's kind of the point that I'm making. They're preaching to so many non-Americans, they don't get it, I don't think. Well, I mean, everything that I'll talk about is going to be based off of, like, I mean, Americans to a certain extent, right? Because that's where I live. Someone paying 200K a year, someone making 10 bucks. Well, why are you even talking about that, agreed? Like, why would you even bring that up? Like, nobody asked your opinion on taxes. Like, we're not even talking about what your opinion on taxes is. Why do you think anybody cares? This has nothing to do with your opinion or my opinion on the situation. Nobody asked, nobody cares. So, like, all I'm saying really is that people are going to advocate for things that are beneficial towards them. That's all there is to it. And so I think that now as people have gotten older, and a lot of the guys that maybe disliked pay to win whenever they were younger, now they're older and they can spend money and pay to win, and they don't have the time that they used to. It's easy for a person who's like, let's say 35 with like a wife and kids, to rationalize like, oh, well, I'm going to spend money on this because I don't have the same time that I used to. And like, it's easy for that person to think that they're at a disadvantage because they can't play video games all day. My stance on taxes change. I don't care. I don't want to talk about taxes. It doesn't matter. They're both at a disadvantage. Well, what I'm saying is that, like, games do this. And so, like, people will always, like, try to find... I think especially in... You try and educate people that high taxes is not good. I'm not going to educate people in your opinion about politics. Please shut the fuck up. I'm going to ban you. Just shut the fuck up. I don't want to read it. If I see you type one more stupid fucking thing, I'm gonna ban you. You think pay to win is its own category? No, I don't think so. Like, so mad. It does make me mad because, like, I feel like I can't use certain analogies because it'll just short circuits people's brains, and it makes it hard to talk about things. So as innate disposition or learn seeing others succeed doing the same approach. No, I think people are just People are like, you don't need to. You have millions of years of evolution to tell you like whether it's innate or learned. People that advocate in their own self-interest reproduce, and people who don't do not reproduce. And so, big surprise, most people advocate in their own self-interest. It's just what makes sense. Basic evolution? Yeah, it is. You don't want the metric used to measure their worth to change whenever they're doing well. Exactly. Yeah, that's actually a really good way to say it. I like that. That's it. I think that's a better way than I said it, to be honest with you. Yeah. You get anything good in your box this week? I got another weapon, yeah. Generations bring a new win usually. However, one thing that changes to the good, a lot changes to the worse again. I mean, everything is always in a constant state of changing, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's just like, that's just the way things go. Any thoughts about the Twitch engineer who talked about economics behind subsplits? I'll look at it tomorrow on the show. Games I'm looking forward to playing coming out. I mean, right now I'm happy with like what's going on. I think I've already got too many games. Do you think Ian has any say on the shop items at all? Probably not, no. I mean, I think that to some degree, yes, but like in general, no. Pay to win to feel good needs people who can't progress as fast as people who pay to win. Yeah, exactly. And like, that's kind of like what happens is that like pay to win games have to have a equilibrium of like of whales and actual players. Oh shit, I would have killed him. Because like if you have people that are just only whales, then whales need, it's the same thing as like in the ocean, right? Whales need plankton to survive. They need to eat like krill and, you know, these other small little fish because that's what they do. And so if you don't have the krill to eat, then the whales die. And so in order for a good pay to win game to exist, you have to have a situation where people that are playing the game legitimately and not spending money on it, those people still have a fulfilling experience playing. And if you don't have that, you're just going to lose those people, and then the whales will go away too, because whales want to be able to whale and like lord what they have over other people. So if you don't have a situation where they can do that, they're not going to play the game. That's why whaling in a game like World of Warcraft was so lucrative back in the day, right? Spending money and like buying things with like, you know, real money, buying gold, etc., is because it was a big game, and so you could like, you know, fucking make fun of people for like having things that you know, that like you have and they don't. As whales and casuals problem with WoW subscription doesn't allow more casual players to join the whales. Well, I mean, but like WoW is just one game. That's what I'm saying, right? Is like every other game is going to be different too. And kind of what I'm getting at is that that's why people pay a lot of money for Gladiator. Like, why do you think somebody pays a lot of money for Gladiator in WoW to get carried to Gladiator? Like, I'm talking like before you had the WoW token, like you get carried to Gladiator in like Cataclysm or Mists of Pandaria or something like that. Why are they paying like $1,000 for that? Most of them are not like super serious mount collectors and they just want to have the mount. Most of them want to have the title and then pretend like they earned it, right? That's basically what it is. And so it's the same general thing. Since like IRL losers? Well, I mean, like everybody's a loser somehow. Something in the game life, it's not different. Yeah, that's what I mean, right? And that's why I'm saying this is the case. Are they really losers if they have to drop 1K in a game? Not to the people that they're beating. Just a second. Fuck. I really gotta go and probably do some mount runs or something in a bit. Spending money on video games subjective. You might not think it's stupid, just like someone who goes buys a $1,000 bag or shoes might not think it's stupid. Yeah, I think so too. I mean, like, again, like it's not really about if something is stupid or not. It's about if people are going to do it regardless. Because, like, people do stupid things all the time. Like, it's not a good way to judge things. I'll play threes. I probably should play some games of threes, yeah. I don't know if I can get up to 1800, though. 1800's pretty high. We'll see what happens. Genuine hope, pay to win, lost pass. We don't have to deal with this bullshit in the future. I don't really think that that's what's going to happen. I think that you'll probably have laws against some degrees of like gambling, but other than that, I think that you're probably just going to keep having pay to win. That's my expectation. All right, we need 2 people for arena. Kind of want to get people that are geared. I don't know if DK is good. I feel like it's not. Europe had a law against selling loot boxes, so they sold in-game currency and the loot boxes came extra, getting around the law. Yeah, but that's just the government being stupid. I mean, I think that the governments that let that kind of stuff happen, they're just like really doing themselves a huge disservice. Because like what they're really doing and saying is like, you know, like you can disrespect our rules and our laws. Badly written law, yeah. Saying a bad principle, yeah. This guy says multi-glad experience. Well, he's probably not, but let's go anyway. I'll invite this paladin, we'll see what happens. What could go wrong? Making a MMO with no microtransactions say get you a whole bunch of people playing for just that. You see, like, Big Sag, like you're totally wrong. People don't really care about microtransactions as much as they care about gameplay. A good example of this is New World. New World has no level boosts. It has no power advantages. New World is not pay to win in any way. Like, it is actually not pay to win. And it's dead. This guy says he has multiple gladiator experience. Let's see about that. Yeah, he does. Great. I don't know about this paladin, if he's good or not. Let's kill the warlock. No, it's actually super chill. Yeah, but like, people don't play New World because it doesn't have microtransactions, you know what I mean? That's the point that I'm making, is that like, this is not a, I shouldn't have done that, that was stupid. Man, warlocks really do a lot of damage. Man, I can't even really... Like, what do you even do against that? Like... I don't know, like... You just got destroyed. This parry... Yeah, I should have used my cooldown. I didn't think of it. Fuck. Conflacked me for almost 10k by itself. You're getting like you do enough, yes. Yeah, whenever I get focused, it's too much for me to think about and I just die. I've always been like this, I just can't really think about that many things at a time. Okay, here we go. I don't even know like what to do here. Can't do anything. Where is he? I can't, I'm just getting kited. Can't move. Okay, you should die here. Oh my god, I got stunned at the exact second I was gonna interrupt him. Stun him again. Like, why did I not... Oh, fuck. Fuck. As he moves so fucking, god damn it, man. Just can't get over to anybody. Come on. I tried to cyclone there. He's dead. Thank God we won a game. We hardly ever win. There we go. My damage is really bad. Okay, Plague. Let's do one more game, Nate. I can only do a few games. I have like a meeting I have to do at 7. Okay, do you want to just do now? I'm gonna give you lead, okay? Just do whatever you want. Yeah, thanks for coming, man. Yes, invite your friend. Do you have any interest in raiding in TVC again? See, like, the raids aren't fun to me. I already did the raids. I did them in 2007 and 2008. I think that right now the reason why I don't have a lot of interest in doing it is that I think a lot of people that I play with are like, people don't know what the mechanics are in the game, and it just makes me not want to play the game. Like, we'll try and do something or whatever, and you know, people just do it wrong, or they'll just like not follow directions or something stupid, or they'll stand in something or not pay attention to like an easy mechanic, and like I don't want to, like, I don't want to do that, right? I mean, if that happens to me, I just like immediately I don't want to play the game anymore, you know what I mean? Because like I don't want to spend my time doing that and then like people just aren't paying attention or trying. Like, for me, it's really, really frustrating. And like there's times where like, I mean, it's not like it's just everybody else is bad and I'm good. Like, no, I mean, there are times whenever I make mistakes too. We're gonna buy the ring. So we'll buy the ring, and what else should we buy? Maybe buy the trinket. So this is good, this is good. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm not gonna buy chest because I'm gonna make Unity chest as soon as I get to Revered. So maybe I should buy the belt. Then I was gonna use Painbringer belt. I don't know. I'm just gonna buy the trinket because it's an upgrade literally right now.
Remember, for you, I offer only the finest.
Oh, can I not do that one? There we go. Okay, that'll help out a little bit more. Oh, let me actually get an enchant on this. I should still like enchant and everything with versatility, right?
Ancient to trade needs to be at least 2 centuries old. If you find anything exotic,
Yeah, okay.
bring it to me.
Yeah, I've got pretty good gear so far. Just call whatever you want to get on, and I'll get on it. Alright, here we go. Jesus Christ. Nice. I think I need to get a new mouse. My button's not working. Like, listen. Shit. See that? It doesn't hit every time. probably buy a new one pretty soon. Get a wireless mouse? I don't want to. Is your Death Adder's pretty good? Yeah, maybe. I'll have to look and see. I have a Steel Series mouse right now. Let's go healer. Okay. Well, yeah, our healer disconnected. It's whatever. Who cares? Hopefully he'll be back soon. Excuse me. What Steel Series mouse do you currently have? I don't know. It says Rival or some shit. Like, I have no idea. What do you think about making WoW raid wipes feel less bad like Final Fantasy? I feel like Final Fantasy does a much better job with like raid wipes. I would love if they did that. Because like right now, like you just spend a lot of time dying in the game and it's just like, it's too much, man. It's just too much. What type of punishments are good in games, you feel? I feel like punishment is not really the word that you should look to do. You shouldn't really look to punish players for making mistakes. I think that the mistakes themselves should be punishment enough. Oh, I didn't get there in time. Is experience like PoE? If I lost experience in WoW, I would just stop playing the game. I can't get over there. Rallying. Like basically every time that I quit the game in PoE, it's because I lose experience enough to where like, oh wow, 21,000. That's a lot of damage. The consequences, yeah, I don't want to have like a consequence of like losing. Punishment's a relic from MMO, said shitty content. Yeah, exactly. Like every time I quit playing PoE, it's pretty much because like I die and I look at how much experience I lost and I think about how much time I just lost, and I just don't want to play anymore because it's just like it's not fun. Like it makes me feel like I got my time wasted. And like I said this before, but like anytime that I have like a time where I feel like I'm having my time wasted, I just immediately stop enjoying the game because it loses like that escapism and immersion. I'm just wasting my time. Silent. Yeah. It's just like I spent like 20 minutes doing that and then I die, so I have to do it again. Like I don't want to do that. House of the Dead. Yeah, that's why I stopped doing it. Do you feel that way when you brick your corruption too? Not really. No, I don't. I can do like maybe 2 more, then I gotta go. What about difficulty scaling as you fail or succeed on boss attempts? Why would you make a boss harder if people can't beat it? It's just gonna make people mad. I think people look at it from like this perspective that like the game has to have that. I actually don't think it does. I don't think it makes the game better. I don't think it really improves anything whenever you have things like that. It just makes it less fun and enjoyable. And it takes like... Yeah, I have to get a new mouse. Dude, I just can't do any damage to this guy. Come on, bro. Like, just die. I'm gonna kill your stupid pet. You dead. Played Overwatch 2, what's your opinion on it? It's an okay game, but I feel like it's just so, like, it's so fast. And, like, there's so much happening on the screen that's, like, I don't think it's going to be able to retain players, like, a casual player base. Because it's just so intense. I think it's going to have the same problem that like Fortnite had, where people that like were like good at building just like outscaled everybody else, and it became not fun to play against because of the skill difference. And it's something like WoW, yeah, like WoW Arena has that problem too. So that's kind of like, it's the same as Overwatch 1. Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. Is tier set? Yeah. Well, I gotta do one more and I gotta go. That's what matchmaking's for. Yeah, but you're still gonna queue into people that there's a big enough difference. I think it won't really be fun. I know there's a lot of people that think this is not the case, but I mean, again, like, you'll just have to wait and see. Well, imagine if this team was good. Like, this would be the worst game of my life. Thank God we won that fast. High skill cap players are allowed to fight each other with a good ranking system. It happens, yeah. And I think also, yeah, I gotta go. Thank you guys. I appreciate the games. Thank you very much. I'll probably play more, like, another time. Because I need to do a lot more games. So, like, yeah, that's kind of like what happens is, people will... yeah, you're done? I am, yeah. Just gonna hear. Yeah, I've got like 5 minutes, so I gotta go. Anyway, so like, that's what I think happens with a lot of these games is that and like also, I mean, there are some classes that I think aren't like really super fun to fight against. Like I feel like fighting Orisa is like not really fun, because like I just like a lot of the like the things that happen in Overwatch aren't really like, it's not fun for it to happen to you. So like, for example, like getting your character pushed around constantly and like having your aim like constantly like jerked around, like you're like trying to shoot somebody, it's like this, like this, like this. It's like somebody moving around like super fast on your screen, right? It's just, it's like so fast-paced. I feel like it'll be exhausting for casual players and people won't stick with it. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe not. I just think that's what happened with Fortnite, is that like Fortnite, the players, like the skill gap got so big that like people didn't even really want to try. Apex most fast-paced shooter. Well, I think also in Apex you don't have a lot of things that cause you to lose control of your character, and like you don't have the same type of like CC and like distractions. You know, there aren't like massive things that are like, you know, there's not like a monkey that's like running at you and like punching you around, and like you have to try to aim at this monkey punching you around in like a first-person mode. It's like, that's just not fun to do.
What?
Like, it's just fucking not. And I guess, like, some people, as I said, some people might like it. And, like, maybe I'm wrong, but, like, that's what I think. If they bring in good PvE stuff. Yeah, I think that's the main thing, is like I really want to see what the PvE content is. And then go from there. Would you play a Halo BR? Yeah, I would. I mean, I'll try all the BRs. I actually think that BRs are like a, like I enjoy BRs more than I enjoy shooters like Overwatch, to be honest. I think there's like kind of like an anti-circle jerk for BRs, but to be honest, I think BRs are great. Do you think they'll bring us back the Brutosaur mount? Well, they never really got rid of it. You can just buy it on the black market, right? I think. Realm Royale was a super fun BR whenever it came out. Yeah, I think that a lot of BRs, like, one of the big problems that, like, FPS games have in general is, like, having things that are in them that are, like, their own little, like, kind of special things, like movement at Apex, or, like, I don't know, like, other stuff in other games, like, and, like, these things becoming, like, these massive skill gaps that make it to where people can't really compete in the game. It's hard to balance those two things. Okay, I do have to go now, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. I might come back on later. I don't know. Probably not. We'll see what happens. If not, I'll be back on tomorrow morning. And we'll do some stuff on the show. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. I'll see y'all later. Peace.